You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome to the Up the Turnpike postgame show. What is going on? Matt O'Leary with a disgruntled Mitch Anderson. Mitch, how are you, buddy?
Could be better, I guess. How are you?
That was not great. To lose a game, spoiler, Islanders lose 1-0, and they gave up. Oh no, there was a change. 11 shots on goal, not 10. 11 shots on goal, and they lost. They've been shut out 3 times so far to start their season. 3.
Like that's the bigger talking point out of anything, right? Remember when we had a podcast like a couple weeks back where we're like, the offense looks good, guys, and they've been shut out twice since then. Twice. It, as Nick is saying, it is absolutely unacceptable.
That's
it's unacceptable, man.
Only word for it. The only word for it. And that was a fear of ours after Anthony Duclair goes down. You're like, man, that's a big hit to your top 6. Simon Holmstrom goes up for their, the first test there. And, they generated chances. They had 29 shots. They outshot them 29-11, 3 power play opportunities, and can't get one past
Alex
Lyon.
Career 905, 3.04 goals against average, I believe, something like that. Career, not recent, but career. Again, Nick is saying like they deserve to be booed the next time they play on home ice. They're getting booed tonight. The Boobers will probably show up again the next time they play. That's Friday against the Devils. I believe that's away. Doesn't matter, but still.
Yeah.
Like the numbers say the Islanders played a good game, and they did. I thought the Islanders played a good game. They just weren't fast enough in terms of everything. Like Alex Lyon is not a good goalie.
No.
Relative to other NHL goalies. He's just not. But you made his life so easy where the puck movement just wasn't quick enough and he could follow it along. He read the play super easily and he was always in position. He wasn't doing anything outstanding. He had a couple of good saves that I'm sure he's going to be quite proud of, and rightfully so. But it wasn't an Alex Lyon masterclass tonight. It really wasn't.
No. To me, this was a story of a hesitant team. Islanders, I thought, looked hesitant at times with their decision on when to shoot and when not to shoot, but also just cannot bury their chances. The Islanders really only have Brock Nelson, Bo Horvat, and Kyle Palmieri who can score goals right now. Matthew Barzal is obviously a playmaker and a talented player, but he can't finish. Anders Lee can't finish anymore. Maybe Siplikov can finish, but it's a problem. And when you lose Anthony Duclair, someone who you thought you were going to pencil in for 25 plus goals this year, kind of exacerbates that problem.
Yeah, it's not great, but we shouldn't be like, and even during the live chat, PS, if you sign up to our Patreon, we do live watch alongs during the game, right? At least I sit down and I watch it with the patrons. And we were talking about how one of our patrons, Spiz, brought up, like, they look sad that they don't have Anthony Duclair anymore. And like Matt C is kind of saying here that they're screwed right now. The top 6 experiment with Holmstrom needs to stop. I didn't think Holmstrom was particularly good there. We need real top 6 options in this lineup and not AHL plugs. If I see Engvall called up as a fix with the power play, I swear to God, I don't think you have to worry about that final point.
No.
He's not coming up. We don't have the cap space to bring him up anyways.
No, not with, they're going to wait as long as possible, I think, here to put Anthony Duclair on LTIR.
Yeah, exactly. But if Maxim Siplikov makes the top 6 on this team, you're going to have problems when you have an injury, because Maxim Siplikov probably shouldn't have made the top 6. He was fine through preseason, good even, and he's been okay so far. But the only reason he makes the top 6 is because you don't have a player who's better than him. Like, they desperately wanted Pierre Engvall to play in that top 6, and he just crapped the bed. And so you're like, okay, well, fine. We'll put Maxim Siplikov there. Now you lose Duclair, and you're like, crap. We barely had one to begin with to put in our top 6. Now we need to find another one. Where is this guy going to come from?
And it also
Oh,
doesn't help that you are getting a different issue, but you are getting absolutely Zippo from your fourth line right now.
yeah.
Liam Foodie comes up. He played. Oh, I won't tell you how much time he played. Actually, Oliver
Right.
Wahlstrom and Kyle McLean. The fourth line by far the three least amount in ice time. And like I don't know, you could argue that Wallstrom's like is his best role really on a like a fourth line style of player. They just feel like mishmash lines that they're rolling.
Yeah, they're trying to make do, and like you can't keep doing this long term. He's out long term, and for Lou, that means quite a long time. Remember, Lou's the GM who says if you have time, take it. He's never had a player come back early from injury. This guy, Anthony Duclair, is if he's out for months per Lou, add another month to that probably because it's gonna be like molasses in January getting this guy back on the ice. And rightfully so. I'm not saying we need to rush Anthony Duclair, but it's going to be a while before we see him, I'm sure. And we can't keep running the lineup as it is now.
No, no, which I don't know what the play is. We spent a lot of time on the podcast last night trying to talk about that and figure out what the play is, but they need to figure out a way to get pucks in the back of the net because you cannot win when you score 0 goals, and they've done that in literally half their games. It's not an exaggeration. Half
Yeah,
of their games, they've done it.
that's bad. Like we'll never change until Lou's gone. Apparently, says Andre. And like I know Andre's been on Lou's needs to go for a while, and that's not he's not harping it inaccurately. I know where he stands on this. He wanted him gone when we missed the playoffs a couple of years back, so I get that. I'm not going to jump on the train now. I haven't yet, and it's only 6 games in, but it's hard. It's hard to hold that position when you're like, but Mitch, they've been shut out 3 goddamn times in 6 games. What are you going to do here, man?
Yeah,
When are you getting on the bus?
they don't have
Oh,
enough scoring.
yeah. Do you want to go through some comments first, or do you want to go through some our classic rundown of the game?
Yeah, let's do a quick classic rundown, and then we can get into some comments here. So we'll pull it up. There's only one goal that we got to talk about in this game, so it might not take as
Barn
long
burner.
as it normally does here. But as I'm pulling it up, forgive me, my computer's been running a little slow today. Uh, the legend Patrick Kane ends up scoring here. As seems like
Watch
maybe
Endersley.
yeah, I was gonna say he's slow to get down.
Like Andersley does not see
We'll
him
run it
coming
again.
through. Right, like watch where he's coming from. He's coming from behind Endersley. Endersley has no idea where Patrick Kane is, and just at the last second, there it is. Calls for it and is on his stick. And I know Ilya doesn't have glove high at this point, but you try to block as much as you can. And when you're coming back into that position, you're not going to be coming back with the glove necessarily ready in that position. So it's just, I'm not saying it's Andersley's fault. These breakdowns happen in hockey games all the time. All the time they happen because it's a quick game. Things are going to happen like this. Things are going to go wrong. You need to be able to do well enough where these things don't kill you like it did today. They score once, 9 minutes into the first period, and that's it. Game over. We're over.
You can't survive. Be like, we cannot allow a goal tonight, or we're going to lose. You can't win that way.
You really can't, man. And like they played well enough through the rest of the game, but like the dog says here, like they didn't play fast enough. Like when they were playing against Dallas, they've played the game that they played at Dallas and like the physicality that even Butchie was talking about. They probably at least get one in the net tonight, but they didn't have that. They're a little bit slower with their decision makings. Their decision making. They're a little bit slower in terms of the I guess just like the mustard they were putting on their passes, and it just wasn't getting to where it needed to be on time because the shot decisions were great and they were taking shots from the right places. It just wasn't troubling Alex Lyon enough
At all.
which
Yeah.
is ridiculous to mention.
Mitch, to me, I think again that we don't that there's a ton of goals. We got to spend a ton of time on each period here. But to me, I thought the biggest missed opportunity was in the second period when they had 14 shots and 2 power play opportunities, and they were unable to get anything to go.
Yeah. So the big news with the power play is that Matt Barzal was kind of separated from that first unit. They changed the units around. And while that sounds awful, it looked like it was working. Those 2 power plays in the second period, they looked good. There was a lot of crisp, passing. There are shots going on or towards the net, which we've been preaching, and Butchie have been preaching for a long time. Get shots towards the net, start pulling these defenders out of their shape, and that's when you're opening up more opportunities. And they were doing that in that second period. When you look at the shots, like you mentioned, 14-6 in our favor, but 7 of those have come on the power play. That's an average of 3.5 per 3.5 per power play in that second period. That's half of the shots we got there. We outshot them just on the power play alone, but we couldn't get something to go. The power play was good. It just didn't convert, which is really, really frustrating because we're like, what, 10% or something on the power play now this year?
It's horrible. Yeah, they are in the bottom 10 on the power play, which is not good enough. They killed their one penalty that they took in this game. Mike Riley went off early in the second for a hooking call against Lucas Raymond. But again, 2 opportunities, and even at the end of the game too, with just 5.5 minutes left, you get a power play, and they could not get into the zone. Mitch, they just couldn't even get started to get any opportunities on that last one.
Yeah, I made sure to be like, the power play was good in the second period, because that one in the third period, you're right, it was horrible.
At least in the second, they were generating chances. And again, to me, that's the biggest story, or my biggest takeaway from this game, is not being able to capitalize on the opportunities that you create. The last power play, you cannot say the same. They could not even enter the zone to get anything set up.
It was really bad. That power play, the third one, you're right, they couldn't enter the zone. And Detroit wasn't really doing anything. They're just standing there, and we're like, oh God, no, there's a pylon in the way. Guys, you've done these before. How are you so inept at this? It can't be this hard. Other teams who are worse than us do this. How are you so bad consistently? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. So that's the difference in the game. That's it. That's all we got to talk about, because that was missed opportunities on scoring chances, missed opportunities on the power play, and you lose a game where Ilya Sorokin allowed 1 goal.
Yeah. And even allowed it's just, he's allowed to allow a goal, one on a really good opportunity where, we just don't find a future Hall of Famer. That's it.
And it wasn't like that's not a 1 goal that was like Ilya lets one bleed through the one that he should have caught in his glove and like sneaks through or something like that. It was something goes wrong in the defensive end. Patrick Kane gets loose. Tarasenko to Patrick Kane, like it's 2015 all over again here. And it ends up in the back of the net. And that's it. He made some other, not that he was tested a ton, but he did his job. Ilya Sorokin has done his job through the first 3 games of the year. The offense is either all gas or no. It's either all gas or no gas. There's no like in between.
All gas or all brakes, right?
All gas, all brake. Yeah, all gas, all brake. There's no in between.
Unbelievable. Do you want to get some comments here, because they're loading up pretty quick?
Yeah, let's rip through some comments.
All right, so to make sure I'm not missing anyone's comments, so I think Jules here is saying, I'd rather see them score than be 0-6 than getting shut out half the time. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I want to see them score. I want to have fun watching these games instead of sitting there live on the stream going, what are we talking about here? Because they're not doing anything. Nothing. It's, as Sloppy says, absolutely pathetic. Triple the opposition shots and still lose 1-0. Yeah.
You can't make it up. There's no words.
No, it's just ridiculous. What do you think about this? Nick is asking, this needs to be the game where Roy does his post-game presser and puts them on blast. They haven't gotten one since he's been here, and this needs to be it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm looking to see while we were live if we got any quotes. I don't believe we have yet. I'll keep an eye out on that. But
He's still blasting them in French, and he hasn't got to the English portion of the blasting yet.
No, it certainly hasn't.
Yeah, Jules, any hope for Wallstrom is gone. I haven't seen the ice time, and we're going to do the gimmick in a second there. But from watching, there was nothing to watch, man. There was nothing there to watch. The whole fourth line, I feel bad for Kyle McLean. And Foudy too, like, or Foodie or whatever his name is pronounced. Didn't look great, but his first game for the Isles, I don't expect much.
No, I was expecting him to get around the ice time that he got tonight.
Right. So then Michael is saying we need to trade for legit score, which was the case in the summer. Got to move Pellick or Pollock for Ehlers. I don't think Winnipeg is doing that at this point. I would love that, but I
Sure.
don't think Winnipeg is doing anything like that now.
No, I don't think so.
If we're finding shooters, it's going to be on a bottom team, or we're finding a hockey trade. And I don't know if we've got pieces for a hockey trade. Like
Holmstrom.
If someone wants a guy who can definitely get you 5 to 6 shorthanded goals in a year, let's go.
And then besides that, I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. Sloppy. There's no faith in the fourth line by why they barely saw them. And then Bill's asking, what rundown? Bill.
Valid.
OG. Do you want to do the gimmick and then we'll say some of these comments?
Yeah, let's do it. So, all right. Well, we take a look usually for this on ice time. Who leads the way for forwards?
I guess it's Matthew Barzal, just by the way you're speaking. It's either Barzal or Nelson, but I'm going to say oh my God, I can't do my B's. Barzal. There we go.
Yeah, Barzal at 20 minutes and 47 seconds.
Okay. Least amount is a toss-up between Oliver Wahlstrom and Liam Foudy or Foodie. I'm going to go with Wahlstrom.
No, Foudy at 752.
Ooh, that is not a lot. I'd love to see the shift chart at one point, maybe after this, just to see where he stops playing him. Clearly, he shortens the bench in the third period, as coaches normally do, and the fourth line is going to fall victim to that, definitely. Leading the way in ice time is going to be Noah Dobson for the defenders.
By a lot. By a lot. 25.06 for Noah Dobson. Next closest is Romanov at 20.58.
Okay.
A lot of power with 3 power plays. That's
true.
Gonna be a big part of it.
And Dobson was fine today. He did nothing wrong, really. They had 10 shots. All right, 11. They barely had any opportunities. It's ridiculous.
Least
Mike Riley? No. Scott Mayfield.
Yes, it is Scott Mayfield at 15.29.
Right. Okay. Corrected myself.
You corrected yourself.
I remember seeing him out there at the end, and Mike Riley was out there with Noah Dobson. So I was like, well, that plus the power play time. What am I talking about?
Sorokin stopped 10 of 11 shots, 909 save percentage, and lose 1-0. Shots 29-11. Islanders better in the faceoff dot. The Red Wings took more penalties, 6-2. Hits 13-10, block shots 15-9, giveaways 19-16, takeaways 5-1. Again, really the only thing, this could have been a 5-second post-game show. They just could not capitalize on their opportunities. That's why they lost. They had chances to score. You can count probably anywhere between 2 to 4 chances where they could have scored goals and just didn't.
Yeah, 2.69 XG to 0.86 for Detroit. They had 7 high danger chances. These are in all situations to the 2 for Detroit. They outplayed Detroit by every metric, but they just weren't playing fast enough to really trouble Alex. They weren't making him work for it. They kept throwing it right into the crest. He had a few good saves. I'm not going to take the game totally away from Alex Lyon, but it wasn't, again, an Alex Lyon masterclass where he was standing on his head. It's just, we made it easy for him. We really did.
Yeah, they did make it incredibly easy.
Yeah. Do we want to get back to some comments here?
Yeah, we'll rip through some more comments on here. I don't think there's much left box score wise. So
no, there really
close out with some comments.
Yeah. All right. So Andre says, guys, what do you think of Jeffrey's performance at Bridgeport? Is he a realistic option to be called up to fill in on the scoring? There's a little bit of back and forth here where, like, Matt C is saying Jeffrey shouldn't be called up because he's still a rookie and don't rush him to put in a position where he can fail. I tend to agree with that take, but I don't mind what Andre is kind of going here. Like, the kid's playing, man. He's got 5 points in 4 games, leads the team in production. If you're looking for an offensive spark, he seems to have it.
Yeah. I like Jeffries, but I don't want to call him up now in a panic, right? Like, that would feel like a panic move. And I don't think that's fair to the prospect you're trying to develop.
No, I don't think Lou is going to do anything like that. I think Lou is going to side with Matt here, although I don't disagree with Andre at least bringing it up. But it's going to be like let him cook in the AHL if he's doing it, and then maybe by January, maybe we're still in the same boat. Like it's going to be months for Anthony Duclair. Maybe by then we've got a space and we know a little bit more about Alex Jeffries.
Yeah, that's different than game. How many games have they played? 5 in the Bridgeport, maybe a little bit more than that now.
4.
Okay, so there you go.
Not a lot, right? Okay, Crimba says the Isles 3rd and 4th are physically incapable of scoring, just no threats whatsoever.
Yeah.
They changed the dynamic of the line, and so it's really hard for them, specifically that 4th line. The 3rd line, Anders Lee looked okay today. Okay. I'm going to say, even though he gave up, I would say, on Patrick Kane.
Yeah, I think he just missed him,
Yeah.
which is not an excuse.
Right.
It's still a bad play, but I just think he didn't realize he was there.
Yeah. Pajot got a lot of ice time today that I don't think he merited, outside of like he's good on the face-off dot. I'd rather have Brock out there.
Yeah, he did. 1804. He got more than Brock at 1623. That's strange.
Because they kept throwing him. What's his face-off percentage on the night?
It is 63.6%.
Yeah. It's why they were throwing him out there. It's just to win the draw. And then he's out there forever. I'd rather see Brock, because Brock had 5 to 6 shots tonight.
5 shots. He was 57, almost 58%, 57.9 on the face-off. It's not like he was bad.
Right. Throw him out there. Overload. For certain periods of time, specifically at the end, it really seemed that Patrick Roy was scared to overload. Just throw all of my talent out there. What do you have to lose, man? Throw Dobson and 5 forwards out there. Go for it. What are you doing? Who cares? Just if they score, whatever. We were losing anyways. Just throw everyone. Bo, Brock, Kyle, Matt Barzal, and I'm missing someone. Even maybe Anders Lee is a net front presence with Dobson running point. Done.
There you go. Fixed.
Yeah, exactly. Joe, my number 1 fan, specifically for the mustache, I suppose. So there you go.
Was the number 1 star tonight. I like that. Good take.
And then Kimbrus agrees that calling up Alex Jeffries isn't the time. We need to sell, according to Matt. Lou has put this team in a position incapable of making impactful moves. He needs to go. I figured this was coming.
I mean, common theme. Yeah.
Yeah. X-Pun. So what's this? Like the 3rd shutout now?
Correct.
It is indeed the 3rd shutout. It's really bad. And yeah, I've been screaming for Lou to go for a couple of years. I knew that one. Stone Murphy, the goal scoring drying up when the defense blanks the oppositions like the Mets scoring 0 runs after a 9-inning Jacob deGrom gem. There are a lot of words there.
Great great comparison. Nailed it.
Yeah. By the way, Game 3 at UBS Arena this season, and attendance was 12.7 thousand. It didn't look like a full barn.
No, it's also a random Tuesday against Detroit. Like
7:45 puck drop as well.
Yeah.
On it, like we've seen barns not empty, but like not at capacity when it's a 7:30 puck drop on a random Tuesday. Extra 15 minutes matter in New York, man.
No, it does. I'm not going to be concerned with that right now. If it was Islanders Penguins on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a little different. That would be a little bit more concerning.
Yeah. Do you think James Hagen? Looking the Long Island born potential number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. Yep. That's not happening, unfortunately.
No. As much as that would be cool, it's not happening. Okay. There's something about ownership. I'm not sure ownership cares building retail malls by arena. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, they're trying to make the fan experience better.
Yeah.
I know the product on the ice is clearly the most important thing, but they are the reason why they are here and not in Kansas City or Utah or somewhere else. So I think the ownership cares very much, actually.
I think they care, but it's just people are looking at it like, well, why aren't they doing anything? We have to remember they spent a long time trying to get Lou Lamoriello. And by that I mean it wasn't just from day one they wanted Lewis. That from day one they wanted someone that would stick in the job for a while and do a great job at it. And it came down to, after everyone they spoke to, Lou Lamoriello is your guy, and they finally got him. They convinced him. They're not going to move that quick from him. I'm not saying they're right or wrong for doing it, but I think that's why we're not seeing them jump the gun on changing GMs just yet. Plus, now that you got all those contracts, you can't really do too much either.
Yeah, good luck.
Columbus says howdy, and 10 shots are most in a W since 1959 with 12. I think you got the numbers upside down, my friend.
Unless maybe he's a Red Wings fan.
Perhaps a Red Wings fan. Okay, well, good job by you guys. You did the thing. So, congrats.
A win is a win.
Yeah,
Counts the same. 2 points is 2 points.
They don't ask how, they ask how many. And then final one here from Stone Murphy saying, with the attendance thing, I also think a lot of Mets and Yankees fans will come around later in the season. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. It's still early. And there's other sports involved. The Jets and Giants haven't been good, so you might see fans start to bail on going to those games. And again, if this is an issue in February, March, April, bigger problem.
Right, exactly. So yeah, we were right, or you were right about Clump Sauce. Red Wings fan. Good job by you.
Congrats
Good
on the
win.
win.
Deserved it. Bill was shouting this during our live stream. Again, sign up to the patreon.com/uptheturnpike. We do live watch alongs, not during every game, but some games. 2 podcasts a week, Friday 6-pack, dedicated Discord server, plus. And Bill, during the live watch along, was screaming, "Stop shooting center mass." You kept hitting the logo.
Yeah, they did a lot.
With how thin those jerseys are, I'm surprised it didn't go right through.
Yeah, the Fanatics, we know the quality's not there.
Yeah.
So,
and then Andre is just saying, "Can we get Ken Holland?" No, we're good. Also, I'm pretty sure he's got a job somewhere. Isn't he like a VP at some other team now?
He might be.
He's some sort of executive at some other team where he can basically retire without being retired, which is what Lou should be doing at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. He could be in the Johnny Boychuk role. Show up to practice like 5 times a year and hang around.
Just go, bah, don't do it that way, and then just ignore him anyways.
Beautiful. Great impression too, by the way. So, all right. That'll do it. Islanders back in action on Friday. I'll be around for a post game on Friday. Mitch, I don't know if you're around for a post game or not, but we will have content for you on Friday. Excited for that, and a podcast episode tomorrow. So busy time for us.
Yeah, go Islanders.
Let's go Islanders. Thank you so much for tuning into the post game. I'm Matt. He's Mitch. Subscribe if you're new, and we will catch you next time.